We are the engineers here at Solar Taxi, and we are the
Jumping Team!
And misconceptions.
Hi, my name is Erica Amponsah-Kusi. I'm an electrical engineer at Solar Taxi.
Hi guys, I'm Afun Gifty Pamela, an engineer here at Solar Taxi.
Yo everyone, my name is Belinda Akaba, an engineer here at Solar Taxi.
I chose engineering because I want to challenge myself, I want to be creative, and I want to be focused. The engineering industry is an industry that impacts our everyday lives. There is always a problem to be solved and there's always a solution that is available. So I chose this industry because I want to challenge myself and be creative and be innovative as well. So if the world is moving ahead with technology, I want to be a part of it. I want to be part of an innovation that is created to solve problems in our environment.
I chose engineering because growing up I thought it would be fun, and seriously it's fun. And I would say engineering, it involves a lot of creative thinking and technological and scientific discovery.
Okay, so I would say I chose engineering because I got this inspiration from my dad. So growing up, I saw my dad fixing every electrical gadget in the house, even though he wasn't an electrician. He's actually a teacher. So he used to fix everything, and as curious as I would sit through with him, ask questions, and try to want to know much about what he was doing. And so it's inspired me to want to do engineering, and specifically do electrical, because most of the things he was fixing was basically electrical stuff. So I grew that passion, and then here I am today. So it's not so different being a female in an engineering field. It's basically the same thing, because what the men are doing, we are also doing the same here. So it is not different. It's quite fun and interesting, because you get a lot of people looking at you with a different kind of look, because they don't really see the females in the engineering field.
So being a woman in engineering is challenging because you need to go against all odds to explain or to prove yourself as to why you're smart, as to why you're intelligent, as to why you are able to do what you do. But I believe gender does not define your ambition. If you're focused, if you're hardworking, if you set your mind to a target and you tell yourself, I'm going to get to this in 5 years, you get it done with hard work and focus. So I don't believe that gender should deter you from getting to where you want to get to. So it doesn't differentiate us from what men can do. We are not saying what men can do, women can do better. We are only saying that we should be recognized for our talent that we bring to the table. So yes. Okay, so I had a misconception about me being smart. I had issues where people look at me and they're like, oh, into an electrical engineer. And the way they look at you make you even doubt yourself and look at yourself, and I'm like, did I really get my degree myself? Because the look, the expression, the attitude they give you makes you even doubt if you yourself, you're an engineer. And the misconception about being smart, it's believed, I've had issues where I've had sexual advances before I get my job, sexual advances before I get my grades, which I learned myself. My lecturer was not there, my professor was not there, but I was able to overcome it because it took time, but I adapted to it. I always told myself positive things, that there's nothing I can do. So as long as I told myself I can do this, I get it done. I don't think about failure, I don't think about, yes, I will fail, but I get up.
So for my greatest takeaway, I would say when we started assembling, we first used lead acid batteries, but now we've switched to lithium ion batteries, which are very risky. And we have to join it in parallel connection. And doing that, we had a lot of explosions that could even take my life away. But I realized that I took the risk and I was able to go through. At the end of the day, the work came out so perfectly, and I was so happy within myself. I was so glad I was able to take that risk and finish up with the work.
So the future of electric cars is, for now, it looks bright because we see ECG partner with POBAD to install charging stations, and for now we have two, one at ANC Mall at East Legon, and then we have another one at Stambek Heights. So, and they were looking at, their partnership is looking at having 200 charging stations in their first phase. So the Ghana Energy Commission is also bringing up Drive Electric initiative. So when you look at all these coming together, we see that Ghanaians are ready for electric vehicles. So in the years to come, we will take away the fuel cars and then go more into electric and save our environment from a lot of pollution.
Well, I'd say yes. There's that kind of challenge here, but it's not a bad challenge where we have to grow our plates. Yeah, it's not that bad, but everybody is trying to better themselves so that when there's something to be done, at least you can be called upon. So it's like everybody is always trying to learn ahead so that you are not left behind. Because honestly, in Solar Taxi, if you don't learn, you lag behind. And so everybody is trying to learn so that they can, yes, stay on the top, so they don't. My greatest takeaway is that there's nothing you put your mind to that you can't achieve. Because coming here to assemble electric vehicles and all that, it wasn't something someone saw me doing, but because I was focused, because I felt I could do it, I just had to do it. And so I would advise that females should venture into engineering, stay focused, and they can do it.
So why I think more ladies should enter into the engineering field, I'll say there are a lot of risks you have to take, but taking risks is not a stopping point for a lady, for me as a lady, to say that because of risk taking you face a lot of challenges. So no, but rather advise them that they should take up the risks, endure, and they can do it.
Beyond electric cars, Solar Taxi is looking more into renewable energy, going more into solar panels, where we don't depend too much on our electric grid and Ghana ECG. And we are looking at also having a bigger plant where we get a bigger land and have a long line of assembly where we can at least assemble 20 bikes a day or 20 cars in a day. So that's our future, and we are yearning, like earnestly, to become $1 billion company. We are not joking. That's why we don't sleep.
And then also we are looking at designing our own, having our own design, where we don't have to depend on maybe a design of someone, but we ourselves as Solar Taxi would have our own design, just as BMW or Benz or Toyota have their own design. So Solar Taxi is also looking at having their own design. Yes, where we come up. So it's gonna be, if this car you see it out there, this is a Solar Taxi.
So when it comes to the engineering department of Solar Taxi, basically what we do when it comes to assembling of bikes is that we assemble these electric bikes, and then on the assembling line there are stages. So from the first stage, we have the chassis. The chassis has to do with the frames, the frame part, the metallic parts of the bike. And then from the chassis, we move to the accessories. The accessories has to do with the throttle, the dashboard, the key switch, the DC to DC, the mirrors, the switch set. And then from there, we go to the electricals. So basically, the electricals has to do with the connections we do. Since it's an electric bike, it is connected electrically to be able to work. So this here you see is the electrical cable. We have the electronic speed controller, which has to be the main brain of the bike. So if you assemble the bike without the electronic speed controller, it's not going to work. And then the final stage has to do with the beautification of the bike, which has to do with the cover. So we have to cover the whole bike with plastic parts to make it look beautiful on the outside, so it doesn't go out like a skeleton like this. Yes, so basically that's what we do on the assembling line when it comes to the assets. So this will be the finished parts, the finished bike of the assembling line. So this is the skeleton. When we are done, this is how it looks like on the market for the clients to purchase or to hire. So here at Solar Taxi, most of our staff, or let me say 80% of our staff, are female, and we are looking at promoting more females in the engineering field.